Pokemon Winds and Waves obviously is a brand new generation, a brand new region, and it's going to introduce a ton of brand new Pokemon, and as well as that, we should be getting some brand new regional forms, convergent forms, basically everything under the sun that you could possibly think about with a Pokedex, right? Now, over the last couple of months, we have had a pretty good amount of huge rumors out there and speculation. We're talking about you, Yellow Shellos. And today we're going to be covering a 4chan leak that was sent to us that has some pretty interesting stuff to it. And I know 4chan, definitely an odd website, you know, not the best place to go, but I have to say this every time. We did get a couple of leaks through the ZA era, and even with some of the Generation 10 stuff for the Pokemon Day of this year that became true. It's also just fun to look at it and just think about what could possibly happen, so let's hop right into it. So if you want to pause and read everything else, I'm just going to cover the new Pokemon here. So it says over 10 new regional forms, including Magmortar, Electabuzz, and the Jynx line, which is awesome. Obviously, Scarlet and Violet didn't really give us a ton of new regionals, but I feel like this game is way bigger. So I think it's safe to say that we will most likely get more regional variants than we did in Scarlet and Violet. This Magmortar goes absolutely insane because it turns him from, you know, a round egg looking mon into something that's an absolute beast. So he looks way more buff. Like, this guy just looks like a gym bro, still with the same kind of overall concept, but I feel like it just makes it look so much cleaner and so much better because I'm honestly not the biggest fan of Magmortar, but I feel like I would like it a little bit more if it looked like this. Its face right here honestly reminds me of like Snorlax and Marshadow.
Bro, this might be the coolest Magmortar that I've ever seen. This is sick, man. I love how he's got the spikes, kind of like the tusks underneath, and also how he has those purple flames. He almost looks like a ghost type to me, which I really like. The cannons look so much cooler in this form, in my opinion. I also like how he's got the claw coming out of the one, just like how he does. Yeah, this guy looks a lot more kind of sleek. It almost reminds me of Armor Rouge in a way, so I like it. I think it's really cool.
So I know Slugma was not on this list, but I do think this could be a fantastic Pokemon for this region to be getting some sort of regional variant or brand new form of. As soon as I saw this, I was like, yeah, this is absolutely insane because like that last design, it had like the teeth under him, like kind of like husks almost. I think the color combo goes crazy. And this is a dragon type, which definitely looks like a dragon. I think that's so unique because it doesn't have wings and there's no way this fool is ever going to grow wings.
I like the shadow on the side. I think that looks pretty sick. It almost looks like a snake, but a dragon type Slugma is something that I never would have thought of, but low-key it does kind of make sense. Like, we have Goomy, Slugoo, so definitely in that kind of same alley of Pokemon, if that makes sense. The colors are also pretty nice,
and obviously would evolve into Magcargo, but I think a regional Magcargo would be perfect because there's so much water in this region for Winds and Waves, so dragon and water would be a crazy cool combo for this Pokemon. The ginormous shell on it almost looking like Slowbro. I could just totally see this Pokemon just exiting the water, just chilling on the sand or in some sort of like underwater cave with a bunch of lava around it. I think this is a really slept on Pokemon. The shell also just looks like it's growing a bunch of different teeth to match the actual teeth that it does have.
Bro, I'm a big fan of these regional variants where they kind of do a type swap. Like, giving Magcargo the water type is something that seems so obvious at the same time, so creative, if that makes sense. And I do love how the shell looks like Slowbro. I think that's really cool. Slowbro is a sick Pokemon, but the water dragon type as well is such a cool typing. I always thought that Goodra should have been a dragon water type.
I feel like Electabuzz is one of those Pokemon that's so sick, but I feel like it's just been seen so many times, and I'm low-key a little bit tired of the design. So I think original variant would do it so much justice because look how sick this is. A white and kind of gray Electabuzz that does appear to be a little different. So I'm assuming this would be an ice type. A pure ice type would be crazy. I mean, I don't know if you want to go make an electric and an ice type or what. Let me know in the comments. But I absolutely love the color swap here. And I love how big his hands are. I feel like that makes him really good at digging in the snow. And I wonder if that was an intentional design. And look at his fangs, bro. He looks like a snake.
I love how this one is meant to be the ice type because it kind of looks like a saber-toothed tiger, which I think is sick. It low-key reminds me of Ice Age. I don't know if you guys are an OG who watched that movie back in the day, but I like it, bro. I think, like I said about the other one, the single type swaps of these Pokemon that are just a pure typing are always just so cool. And I would definitely use this on my team if we saw it. And this game's supposed to have a lot of different biomes, different islands where all the Pokemon are a certain type. So I could totally see them actually including this in the game, and I think it would make a lot of sense.
There's another design that is an electric and a fighting type, and this guy is just full Zen mode. I think this is awesome because it's a huge Pokemon just like Snorlax, one of those huge tank mods that I feel like everyone has to have some sort of favorite, you know, big tanky Pokemon, and this would be a huge contender because he just looks very chill. Like, he's just sitting there very stoic like. That's what I love about this design too. I love how his hair on top almost makes him look like he's wearing a hat. All the spikes, of course, that his hair is also making. I could just totally see this being some sort of like boss Pokemon that you just literally see sitting like this in front of a bridge or something, just like how Snorlax was. What a creative design right here.
I like it. This guy Loki looks like one of the Hitmon Pokemon to me if it was an electric type. Those are also some sick OG Pokemon. So if we saw an Electabuzz like this, I wouldn't be complaining, that's for sure.
And of course, Jynx. I feel like Jynx has needed some sort of new form or evolution forever now, and this design is awesome. So it makes it look more like a magical Pokemon, which I think is really, really unique. Of course, it has a ton of different design elements here, like different clothing, different color hair, some more spikes added onto it, which I feel like makes it look a little bit more menacing in a way, like in a good way, like a good menacing, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the design just looks more majestic than I think a lot of people would actually really appreciate that, and I feel like the Pokemon cards, the Illustrator Rares, could go crazy with this. Or we could even take it to the next step and have like a creepy form of Jynx, like another evolution or just, you know, regional form where Jynx is creepy. I mean, poor Meowth over here, man. RIP to the boy. I mean, that's just a plush, but
RIP my boy Meowth, but this guy low-key looks kind of like Mimikyu, which I think is so cool because who doesn't love Mimikyu, man?
yeah, this design is insanely creepy. The more I'm looking at it, the more I want to look away. So let's move right on. I've always been a big fan of Litwick and Chandelure and stuff, so I feel like a regional form would be so sick for this game. Now, this is a half ice type, which I think is a really unique idea because obviously it's a candle, you know, a chandelier, a flame. An ice type is totally insane, but this design does it so well because the artist changed like the flames, you know, the light to just be like ice crystals, and I feel like I just love that design so much. This would totally be a Pokemon you just find deep in a cave, which I'm pretty sure we are going to be getting some deep caves in this game. At least I would really hope so.
Icy cave areas in Pokemon have to be one of the most underrated areas in all Pokemon games. If you guys remember the one that we caught Articuno in back in the day, that was sick. So I'd love to see something like that in Pokemon Winds and Waves, and I feel like I said about the biomes before, it could definitely make sense, and I agree. I could totally see this guy living in some kind of a biome or environment like that.
Here is a water type Magby. Now, I never thought of Magby as a water type. Now look how awesome this design goes. It almost makes it look like some sort of platypus Pokemon, and I feel like that's so cool, or just some sort of duck. It's so creative, and obviously the complete opposite of fire would just be a water type, so it makes a lot of sense, honestly, and I could totally see Game Freak doing something like this, especially in a game with a lot of water.
This one looks like if Magby and Mudkip had a fusion. Yeah, I would love to see this Pokemon. I think seeing this guy kind of swimming underwater, maybe you'd find him on the beach, some kind of a water biome, obviously. I don't think this would be in the swamp. I definitely think this is more of a beach looking Pokemon. It almost even looks like Golduck. There's so many Pokemon you can compare this to, but that's why I think it fits so well, and I think we could definitely see something like this.
As you can tell, it looks like Pikachu in some sort of slug form, kind of like
Yellow Shellos?
almost looks like yellow Shellos. It really looks like the yellow Shellos that Cardinal made, which is so peak, by the way. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because there actually is a slug that is native to the area that literally looks like Pikachu, and it's an underwater slug. So that's another reason why so many people think that they're going to add a yellow Shellos, not even to mention the fact that they've teased it themselves, like Game Freak has teased it many, many times. So I figured I'd just throw this one in here because it's so peak. Now, debatably, one of my favorite designs in this entire video is this entire evolution line of Swinub, Piloswine, and Mamoswine. So I think this is crazy. So it's a dark, and then a dark fighting type, but of course, completely changes the look of this Pokemon, like a complete 180. I love the Mamoswine evolution, and Swinub, man. Swinub is already just such an underrated, cute Pokemon. I love the colors, and this Pokemon would be on my team as soon as it possibly could in this game.
Bro, I agree. This has to be the coolest one in the whole video. I love how it looks like a hog, like one of those hogs that you'd see chilling in the forest. It definitely doesn't look like an ice type anymore, and I think that contrast is really cool. And also just the colors work really well.
And of course, a huge shout out to all the amazing artists throughout this video. A link to everybody will be in the description down below. Let us know your favorite design from this entire video, and let us know a Pokemon that you think deserves a regional variant.
And guys, we're also doing a giveaway in our Discord server for two $20 eShop gift cards. We were giving away a copy of Winds and Waves before, but we switched it up to a giveaway for the eShop cards just because Winds and Waves doesn't come out for a long time. We will be giving that game away again in the future once we're closer to the release date, but for now we're going to be giving away two $20 eShop gift cards to you guys just to kind of give back. It's completely free to enter. If you guys have already entered, your entry automatically will just become one for this game, and we'll carry it over to the Winds and Waves one as well. So not to worry for all you guys, don't stress about it. But yeah, like I said, we just want to give back to you guys, so make sure you guys join up the Discord down below. You guys can figure out how to enter up in there.
If you're real watching this far in the video, comment down below frog. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.